get started. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you very much, Kara, for inviting us to participate in this virtual career fair. My name is Glenn Strong, and I work as a community relations and training coordinator for Athabasca. As well as I also work for a company called QM Points, and I'm their community engagement manager. So both of them have to do with public relations, really. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Points Athabasca. Points Athabasca is a contracting company that's been around since 2000. Okay, and it's owned 75% by the Athabasca Basin communities. And that's the communities of Council Portage, Uranium City, Fond du Lac, Stony Rapids, Black Lake, Hatchet Lake, and Walson. The other 25% of the company is owned by Graham Construction. Now, Graham Construction is our industry partner, and why we chose them was because they have the expertise in many construction projects. They do large construction projects, and so they're really mentoring Points Athabasca and have been since, like I said, 2000. All right, we work in the Athabasca Basin as well as other areas of the province and even out of the province, okay? And the typical employment opportunities would be project manager, project coordinator, equipment operators, carpenters and laborers, and safety personnel. Okay, those are all the opportunities that Points Athabasca would offer for employment. Now, grade 12 is preferred for all new employees. And that way, if you want to be indentured into a trade, that's the qualifications you need, okay? Let's talk a little bit about apprenticeship, because that's important to us. Like I said, we've been around since 2000, and we continue to look for participants to apprenticeship in a trade. We want to indenture them. Now, the things that you would need in order to be indentured into a trade would be your marks, your transcripts from your high school, proving that you do have a grade 12, okay? And the other one would be to find yourself an employer who would be willing to take you on for the duration of your apprenticeship, or at least partially. And, typical trades take about 4 years to become a journey person. And through that 4 years, you would work for the company. You'd work for about a year, and then they would send you to school for a couple of months. If you passed that portion, you would move on to year 2. And when moving on each year, your wage also continues to increase. Now, journeyman tradespeople, they earn a lot of money. They earn over $100,000, so into the 6 figures. So if you're ever thinking of a good career, pick up a trade, okay? And work locations could be anywhere. They could be in your own community. Think about all of the construction work that goes on in your own community. There's houses being built. There's houses being renovated. There's construction projects all over, okay? And so communities would love to have their own residential journeymans right in their own community. They'd love to have that. And so that's something that I think that we as Points Athabasca works towards, and we encourage that. So don't hesitate to come to us and say, listen, I'm working for you right now, and I'd like to be indentured into a trade. But you can go anywhere in this country, all across Canada. If you've got a Red Seal Journeyman certificate, it's recognized Canada-wide, okay? Now here's some photos. Here's a fellow, he's being mentored. This is on a project. And you learn how to read blueprints and how to organize the workload, order in materials, all that kind of stuff, okay? You can become an equipment operator. You can become a laborer that helps. So this guy's helping out with the surveying of the airport. And other employees are operating the equipment. All right, I want to move on to QM Points, and the other company that I work for. And as I said, I'm the community engagement manager for them. Now, QM Points is a partnership between Points Athabasca and QM Environmental. Now, this was an ideal partnership for us because QM Environmental is a national company all across Canada, and they're well into the environmental cleanup. And we knew we had some environmental areas that need cleaning in this province, and so we thought this is a great partnership. So we put it together and we put a bid in to participate on the environmental cleanup of the gunner site just located outside of Uranium City. And we were successful in getting that project. Right now, there's probably about another 3 years of that project going on. And that project has a lot of labor work. We go through the bush. We pick up any garbage that is found, because back in the day, the gunner project and the gunner site was, a lot of people were there in the Uranium City area. And of course, as humans, we leave garbage. Back in those days, it wasn't such an environmental thing to make sure you picked up all your garbage. So that's what we're doing over there. Actually, as our workers walk through the bush, they GPS themselves. And so they're on a map and they show that every area of that location has been surveyed and garbage has been found. We pick up the garbage or we store it in order for a piece of equipment to come in and pick it up if it's too large for us to carry. Okay, so some of the projects that opportunities for QM Points would be project coordinator, equipment operators, surveyors, laborers, and safety personnel. And again, grade 12 is preferred for all of those employees, okay? Here's a great picture of the gunner site. That's up there just outside of Uranium City. Another good one. Look, you can see the lake. That's a nice picture. All right, how to apply? All right. Well, you send your resume to apply@pointsathabasca.ca. You can see it on the screen there. It's pretty easy. Apply@pointsathabasca.ca. When you send your resume, make sure that it is up to date. Make sure your references have been contacted so that they know that they're being suggested as a reference, okay? And make sure that your contact information is up to date, because if there becomes an opportunity for you, then we need to get a hold of you, and we can't if the information is not correct, okay? Okay? Now, postings for employment positions are usually posted on Facebook. I have a lot of friends on Facebook, probably over 4,000. So when I post out a posting, it goes out to a lot of people. But also the Facebook of Points Athabasca Contracting, LP, and QM Points, they both have Facebook pages. And so when there's employment opportunity, if it's not posted on your bulletin board in your communities, check out these Facebook pages, because it'll be posted there. Now, some projects and positions require drug and alcohol testing prior to employment. Okay, they want to make sure you're fit to go to work. Okay, we're not trying to tell you how to live your life, but when you come onto a project for us, we're 2 weeks at a time. We expect you to be drug and alcohol free. Okay. All right. I'm not sure why I can't go down. Well, how to apply. Okay. What is an employer looking for? An employer is looking for a dependable employee, somebody dependable, somebody who's on time and not taking a lot of time off. Okay. The other thing we would be looking for is an employee that's willing to learn. Take advantage of any education offered by an employer, okay? Because that's to your advantage. If they're offering something, first aid, CPR, take it. All of that education goes into your resume and makes you more employable. One of the other things that an employer is looking for is to see whether you're working hard. You know, one of the nicest things that a boss can hear says from his employees, they'll say, I'm done. What's next, boss? You know, that means you're really participating in the work and you're taking an interest. And the other one is they're looking for somebody who's honest. Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about the journeyman carpentry trade, because that's what I am. I became a journeyman back in 1978. That's a long time ago. I've had many jobs throughout that time. I used to build grain elevators throughout the province. You've seen those in small communities. I built high rises in Regina, housing. I was a cabinet maker for quite a few years. I bought a grader and became an equipment operator. I've been a business owner, and now I'm a community relations person. Okay. Now, I'm going to be retiring in about 3 years. I'm way up there in age. So I'm looking for someone to mentor in order to take over this position. So it might be something somebody out there might want to consider. Okay. And what qualifications would you need in order to do my job?
2 minutes left, Glenn.
All right, thank you. I would need somebody who's got a good temperament, knows a lot of people, gets along with people well. And my job is really to try to keep everybody happy. It's not always a good, not always works, but that's what I try to do. Okay. All right. So we're going to go one more slide, and there. That's my last slide, I guess. And saying thank you. My name is Glenn Strong. Here we're shaking hands, and there I'm the community relations and training coordinator for all them 4 people there. Okay. And there's
Hi, Glenn. We got a couple of questions for you. I'm waiting on Terry from Flyer Electric. He's not logged in yet, so you got a couple extra minutes.
Okay.
One question that's coming in is from, just let me see here. How much do you get paid for working for a week or a day? How much do you get paid?
In my position right now?
No, as an entry-level position.
Okay, well, we don't start anybody off under $20 an hour. Okay, so that's really our benchmark as far as employment. If you've got some time behind you in the trades, of course that level will go up. I believe that journeyman carpenters earn around $45 an hour. So if you calculate that, 45 times 2,000, that's about that's at least $90,000 a year right there. Okay. And with any overtime and stuff like that, you can well get into over the $100,000 mark. Okay.
That question came from Dre Christian. And you've got one other question here. It says, can you, and this is from Robin Cook. And Robin is asking, can you send the postings to me? I can post it on their database for the Lac La Ronge. Oh, hi, Robin. Great to see you. And Robin has a database with Lac La Ronge Indian Band, and Lac La Ronge Indian Band members send their resume, and it's quite a wonderful thing. So Robin is asking. I've got Robin's contact info. If you don't, I can forward to you.
I appreciate that. And I think that that's the way we need to move ahead. We each have our own databases of employees. And I think that the willingness to share those is beneficial to all of our residents, because it opens up employment opportunities further than just their own region. So I'd be willing to do that. And Robin, you can contact me through Facebook if you want, and then we can hook up and share our emails. Okay. Any other questions? How am I doing, Kara?
Just 1 second. Let's see. You were doing wonderful. I don't see Terry on. So Terry is with Flyer Electric, and he did confirm. I think he's in an. I think he might have had got 2 conferencing together. I did call And so I think we've got to just wait now till 9:45 and hope that Terry comes in. I know, Glenn, that you work with Terry quite closely, so
I do, yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk
Well,
to
I will
Flyer
talk a little
Electric.
bit about, Flyer Electric because, of course, we are sister companies under the Athabasca Basin Development. Okay. And Terry works for, he's actually the CEO, the head guy for Flyer Electric. And I know that he continues to focus on finding somebody from the Athabasca to work with him and apprentice in the electrical trade. Years ago, we did have a young lady out of Uranium City that did apprentice with Terry and actually became a journeyman in a few different locations. He started off with Flyer Electric and then moved over to Cameco and did complete her trade time there and became a journey person. So it's achievable. And I think that one of the nice things about being an electrician, I think, is normally you're in a house, so you've got some shelter when you're running wires and stuff, and a lot of renovation. It's warm work when you're renovation. When you go into a trade, you have to consider the weather too. If you want to be a house framer in the middle of winter, well, you can understand that could have some weather complications. When I was always looking at opportunities, well, I said, well, I want to keep warm, so I'm going to become a finishing carpenter, and I built cabinets and that kind of stuff because the house was always warm, and so I could work inside. And so I think that you need to consider that kind of stuff. Some of the hardest work for a carpenter and even electricians is when you're on a commercial job and you're pouring concrete and you're putting in rebar and putting up forms and running your electrical conduit through the forms and all that other stuff. You're outside all the time. But those are the big paying jobs too. So you have to consider that. Okay. So that's what I have to say about Flyer Electric. I don't want to steal any of Terry's thunder. I know he did a really great job last year in presenting. And so I want to make sure that I give him that opportunity. Are there any other questions regarding QM points and points out of Athabasca?
Oh, we do. We do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Keep them coming in. You can see Terry's presentation from last year on the website. Can I work from home? I've got from Lance. Can you work from home? Dre Christian has, how long does beginners work for? How long does beginners work for?
Okay, well, there's a couple of things. In construction, well, probably you can't work from home. If you're in my job right now as a community relations and training coordinator, yeah, you probably could work from home. I am working from home. I have been ever since COVID hit us back in 2019. And I really freed up some space in our office in Saskatoon for other personnel. But I can do my job from home. I mean, really, it's computer-based work. And I do a lot of work on the telephone, and I do a lot of organizing of tours and many things, setting up meetings with leadership and that kind of stuff. Okay, how much money, when did you start your job? I started this position in 2009. So I've been here this will be 13 years now coming up. How much money do beginners get when they first start working? Like I said, we don't pay anything less than $20 an hour. That's usually our starting wage. Okay, and you move up from there. Okay.
There's one question just before that. They start at $20 an hour?
That's correct.
Glenn, could you talk a little bit about the apprenticeships with the trades, how that works?
All right. Well, first of all, like I said, you would need to find an employer who is willing to take you on in the apprenticeship role. Okay, so that's to indenture you with the apprenticeship commission. And they would need to, again, your high school transcripts. Prove that you do have a grade 12, okay? Because you need to show that in order to be indentured. I know that carpentry trade does, you can get involved if you have only a grade 10, but we don't like to encourage that because we want to make sure that students go through their high school. If you've got a grade 12, you can pretty well do anything, because when you go to ask an employer for a job and they say, well, what grade you got? And you say, well, I got my grade 12. Well, then they know that you're committed to an educational process, and that you're willing to go through that. My dogs are trying to talk here too, so quiet, boys.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you so much, Glenn. I really appreciate you stepping in. I will showcase the presentation from last year, and I'm sure Terry's going to send his regrets. We do have, Travis is asking, where would I work? So where would an entry level work? What are the options?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this, that right now we're looking for many people. Our Gunner project has started, okay, and so we're looking for people over there. We might be full, but also we do have some projects coming up in Alberta and Western Saskatchewan, and we're going to be looking for laborers for that. So this is going to be work away from home. So you would probably end up staying either at camps or at a hotel. And so we would fly you out of the Athabasca if that's where you were to go to the job, okay? And like I said, the pay would be suffice, and we'd look after all of your costs, feed you and house you. So we're looking for laborers for that right now, and we're also looking for skid steer operators for that type of work, okay? So that's...
Are you looking for first-year apprentice welders?
Well, that opportunity does come up. We always are looking for a welder that can get onto our site, because sometimes we need a welder. So if we've got somebody who's familiar with welding, that'd be an asset to us. So don't hesitate to send us your resume. Even if there is not a position available right now, we will still put that resume into a database. And if it says apprentice welder, your name will pop up. Okay. But maybe you'll also want to say to them, listen, now in your cover letter, I am apprentice welder, but I'm also looking for employment of other types in order to get on that job. And once they know that you're a welder, then they'll utilize your skill. Okay. How old do I have to be? Okay. Somebody loves my laugh. That's great. How old do I have to be? Well, let's see, if you've got your grade 12, I would think you're probably going to be 18 years old. Okay, so that's what I would be looking at there. My dog saver, my daughter just saved the dogs. Thank you, my dear. So yeah, age doesn't, I mean, but we don't like to hire under 18 years old. Okay.